All right, what is going on, guys? What is going on? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. We're going to be definitely talking a lot of Mets topics. We're going to get into a lot of Mets topics. We're going to get to a whole bunch of things about the New York Mets. Definitely, yeah, man, lots going on with the offseason right now. Definitely, we have the Yamamoto situation, the Soto situation, the Ohtani situation. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. But definitely, man, Mets need to. Let me see. Is he sleeping now? Is he sleeping now? Can the Mets sign Yamamoto? Lane, that's what he said. Is he sleeping now? Let's see. Yamamoto won't probably sign to maybe next week, possibly. I know that there was reports that Steve Cohen did meet with Yamamoto, but definitely a deal has not been reached with Yamamoto just yet. Definitely the Mets are the front runners for the situation with Yamamoto, but also the Yankees. The Yankees are in on Yamamoto as well. So what's going on, Stony? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, guys, Yamamoto, Ohtani, the Soto situation. It's a lot going on right now. Definitely, the Yankees are really, close to a deal with Juan Soto, which would be good for the Yankees, I'm sure. But apparently, they're still in on Yamamoto, and they still want Yamamoto. But what I would say about the Mets is that Steve Cohen literally went to Japan and had a meeting with Yamamoto. He literally went personally to Japan and talked to Yamamoto. So that just shows that he has a really good intention of, signing Yamamoto, and he really wants to make this deal happen, man. Good. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, Stony, I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Definitely when you think about the situation of the New York Mets, they need pitching. They need pitching. And Yamamoto is a guy that they need. This guy is 25 years old. He is going to be a really good pitcher in the MLB. Will he be the ace? I don't know. But I'll tell you this, Yamamoto, 25 years old, really good stuff. A lot of teams want him, of course. A lot of teams are going to want him. But the Yankees and the Mets, they're going to have a little war, a bidding war when it comes to Yamamoto. But I would say if it comes down to the Mets and Steve Cohen and the money, if Yamamoto wants the money, he's going to get it in New York. He's going to get it in the New York Mets. He really is. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about the free agency so far. Any guys that you would want in the Mets right now. But I mean, yeah, let me know, guys. But I definitely tell you the Mets need to do something. The Mets need to do something. They got to do something. And these little deals that they've been making, they're okay, but these are not big time deals. And the Yankees are making big time moves, and it looks like the Mets, they're not making big time moves. So somebody got to make a big time move, and it got to be the Mets. The Mets have to make some type of move coming up soon in this winter meetings week. They got to make a move. They just got to make a move. They can't just stay put. What's going on? Steve Cohen taking initiative by taking the flight to Japan. Small deals hopefully equal good. Yes, yes. Great job on Cohen for definitely going to Japan and having that meeting with Yamamoto, showing that he really wants Yamamoto on the team and taking in his personal time to go to Japan, which is a big, big thing. Definitely a huge, huge, huge thing. See, the Mets signed a player from the Braves today and a player. The Mets signed a player from the Braves today and a player from the Rockies. I mean, yeah, they're making they're trying to make a couple of signings, definitely. I think it's going to slow down things to this Ohtani hold. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Stoney. Yeah, with this Ohtani situation, apparently a decision is supposed to come on Sunday. Um, do not look for the Mets to sign Ohtani because it's probably not going to happen. I don't think that the Mets are really interested in Ohtani. Money wise, they're not going to offer him 600 mil. They're not going to offer him that type of money. And I think they're looking elsewhere, instead of Ohtani. And I just don't think that the Mets, that they Ohtani would be a welcome addition to the New York Mets, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to sign with the Dodgers, and I think he's going to be with the Dodgers at the end of the day. I don't think he's going to the Toronto Blue Jays. No chance in hell he's going to the Toronto Blue Jays. No chance he's going to the Chicago Cubs. No chance he's going to, I don't think he's going to the Braves. I think he's going to go to a team that, the Dodgers. I really think because he wants to stay in the West Coast. So, but money talks for sure. Loving the show. Yeah, man. Steve, I'll tell you this. Mets got to do something, man. And with all this news about the Yankees, all this, the Verdugo trade last night, all the trade, the Mets got to make some type of move. And I made a video about Jorge Soler. I think he would be the perfect addition to the New York Mets lineup. I really think he would be perfect for the New York Mets. But I don't know if Dave Stearns if they, have they talked about that DH situation just yet. But I think, man, you gotta make a move here, and you gotta do something. The Mets got to do something soon, man. See here. Do you think Ohtani could go back to the Angels, bro? Stoney, I'll tell you this. I promise you this. Shohei Ohtani is not gonna go to the Angels. He will never be an Angel again, a Los Angeles Angel again. It's never going to happen. He's done with that organization. He is never going to sign. He's not even going to there's no way he's going to be an Angel. So the Angels lost out on Ohtani. They made the dumbest decision in not trading Ohtani, which if I was the Angels GM, I would have been traded Ohtani. And imagine the haul you would have got for Ohtani. And now you're not going to get anything for Ohtani. You're not getting anything for Ohtani. Angels, Ohtani, it's not happening. He's probably going to sign with the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are going to have one of the best lineups in all of baseball with Mookie Betts, Ohtani, and, definitely Freddie Freeman. So I just don't see Ohtani ever signing again with the Angels. How much will it take for the Mets to sign Ohtani for a 1-year deal? The thing is, it would take a lot of money, but I'll tell you this, it's not going to happen. I don't think Shohei Ohtani is interested in a short-term deal right now. So I thought he would be interested maybe in a short-term deal because he couldn't pitch for a whole year, but he looks like he's getting the offers that he wants. He's getting the $500 million offers. So at the end of the day, he's getting a lot of offers. So I don't think he's going to go for a short-term deal. Can the Mets sign Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell? I think that definitely Blake Snell. I don't see him being a New York Met. I think Blake Snell, though, is a 2-time Cy Young winner. He's pitched really good. But I just don't think that he's going to be with the New York Mets. And I don't think the Mets are really interested as much as in Blake Snell as they are in Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery, definitely the Mets are very high on. Definitely, you saw in the postseason what he did. He's a good pitcher. He's a good pitcher at the end of the day. He's a good pitcher for sure. Let me see. Do the Mets re-sign Pete Alonso? Well, I mean, you would think so, right? Right? I mean, the Mets need to get Alonso. They got to get Alonso extended. And I thought this would happen definitely, before the new year. And they still got some time to do it. But I don't know. I really don't know. I hope that they do re-sign him. But with everything that they got going on right now, I don't think that is the biggest concern that they have right now. And should it be? Probably, because Pete Alonso, if you don't re-sign him, then, you risk, Pete Alonso having a really great year. And now they got to pay him more after the 2024 season. So I don't know, man. It's a tough one there. Let's see what he said here. I seen the guy you wanted, bro, Soler. Yeah, Soler, man. This guy hit 36 home runs in 2023. He has, 75 RBIs, 250 batting average. I really think that the Mets have a perfect DH candidate with Jorge Soler, and he's 31 years old. And he's a 2-time World Series champion, a 1-time World Series MVP. I like it. I love Jorge Soler, and I think that he would be a really good addition to the Mets lineup. And not just, it would just make the lineup way better. it would just make the lineup way better. And I hope that the Mets are looking into Jorge Soler some type. I really hope they are. And I know a lot of people, say that, oh, maybe JD Martinez, but you got Jorge Soler, 31 years old, 36 home runs. Imagine that. Imagine a guy like that behind Pete Alonso in the lineup, or so somebody to protect Pete Alonso. So let's see what he said here. Can the Mets sign Jorge Soler for a 4-year deal? I think that they can. I think that they would maybe probably keep him for a 3-year or 4-year deal. I would say that he's 31 years old. He still has a lot of talent. He can definitely still play the outfield as well. But a perfect candidate for a DH. It got to be him. Yeah, need Soler in the lineup. Pete's never had protection behind him. Yeah, you're right. He's never had protection. A real protection guy like Jorge Soler, definitely he would be the perfect addition to the New York Mets, to their DH spot. Just imagine a lineup with Pete Alonso, Jorge Soler, and Francisco Alvarez, and Ronnie Mauricio. I mean, that's a good lineup right there. I love it. I love that. I love Ronnie Mauricio, and he's going to be a stud for the New York Mets. I can't wait for him. But I tell you this, the situation with the Jorge Soler and the Mets, I would love for the Mets to sign Jorge Soler. You got to get him. But yeah, man, let me take a look at the latest over here with the MLB rumors. The Angels to sign Willie Calhoun. All right, so nothing so far with the Soto deal. Soto has not been traded to the Yankees just yet. I mean, I know a lot of Mets fans did want Soto. Obviously Soto is an amazing talent and what he brings, but the amount of talent that that the Padres wanted, the Mets, it just wouldn't have been worth it because it's a 1-year rental. Soto is going to be a 1-year rental, so there was no point of getting Soto for 1 year. And I know, but a lot of Mets fans did want Soto, but it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You said, hey, I love Teoscar Hernandez too, but he strikes out too much. Yeah, Teoscar Hernandez, yeah, you're right. He does strike out a lot. Had a pretty okay year for the Seattle Mariners. I think Jorge Soler is a better fit than Teoscar Hernandez, in my opinion. But man, apparently the Orioles are going to sign Greg Kimbrel. I think Greg Kimbrel would have been an okay sign for the New York Mets to, sign him. But I guess they weren't interested in Greg Kimbrel, and he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been the worst either. But definitely the Mets need help. The Mets need help with the pitching, with the bullpen, with a lot. They need help. And the Mets got to make some type of move. And Dave Stearns recently has said that, they want pitching. They're going to go for pitching. They're going to make sure that they get some type of pitching. And I mean, we hope that it's Yamamoto. I mean, I just want this guy Yamamoto to sign already, because then that will make the free agency better. It will make some things happen, because this whole Yamamoto Ohtani situation, this is really stalling the offseason, when it comes to the offseason. But yeah. Can the Mets sign Teoscar Hernandez? Yeah, they could sign him. They could definitely sign Teoscar Hernandez. And let's look at the year that Teoscar Hernandez had. Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez, 26 home runs, 258 batting average. Okay, well, he had a 258 batting average. He had 26 home runs, but that's not the type of year that Jorge Soler had. He had 36 home runs, 250 batting average. I would take that over Teoscar Hernandez, in my opinion. Definitely. Lane, what's it called? Alex Bregman is not going to be traded at all. He's not going to be traded. The Astros like Bregman a lot, and they're not going to trade Alex Bregman. The owner, has recently said that they're not going to trade Alex Bregman. So I don't see Alex Bregman being traded at all to any MLB team. So that's not happening. It would have been a good addition for the Mets to have a guy like that, Alex Bregman. It would have been a great, really nice addition to have a guy like at third base like Alex Bregman, but that's not happening. It's not happening. Would you want Michael A. Taylor? Michael A. Taylor. Let's look at the year that he had because I mean, Michael A. Taylor. Michael A. Taylor. You know, Michael A. Taylor, he had 21. He had 21 home runs. He hit a batting average. He had a batting average of 220. Do I think that Michael A. Taylor would be a nice addition to the New York Mets outfield? I definitely think the Mets need some type of outfielders. So, do they need Michael A. Taylor? I mean, I'm not signing Michael A. Taylor for more than 2 years. I mean, maybe I'll get him on if the Mets could get him on a 1 year contract, like the type of or the type of Mark Canna contract or something like that, then maybe. But Michael A. Taylor, 21 home runs, 220 batting average. He's a good defender for sure. Definitely a good defender. But the Mets need an outfielder. The Mets need outfielders for sure. So I get why they would be interested in Michael A. Taylor. But do I see him happening? The Mets could sign Michael A. Taylor. Do I prefer Michael A. Taylor on the team? I mean, not really. I'm not crazy about Michael A. Taylor, to be honest. Yeah, that's not happening. So, are you comfortable with Stern's decision so far? Small sample size. Listen, I'll tell you this. Dave Stearns has surprised me with some of the moves that he's made. For a big market team, the Mets haven't made any big market moves this offseason. I mean, the offseason just basically started, recently. So it's not like the Mets, like the Luis Severino move surprised me, but it wasn't a bad call because it's just a 1 year deal, 13 mil. It's not the biggest type of deal that the Mets could have made, so it's not really something that can hurt the Mets. But is it a great move? I mean, am I excited about that move? I like Severino. I've always did like Severino. I think Severino has a lot of talent. I just hope that the Mets could get him right in the situation. But I really definitely think that you know they just signed a pitcher. They signed a reliever as well, Michael Tomlin, last night. He's been okay. ERA of like 3 point something. Last year. The Mets so far they haven't made big market moves, and so it's I can't really say I don't love what he has done because nothing has come into fruition with that situation. So let me just fix something. Yeah, so I mean, when you really think about the situation with Dave Stearns, I don't know. I don't know. It's not like it's a very small sample size. I can't say I don't like his moves. I can't say that. Dave Stearns has a lot to do, guys. A lot to do. He has a lot of people to sign. He got pitchers to sign. He has relievers to sign. He has probably a DH hitter to sign. He has a lot to do, and they got to sign Yamamoto. The Mets have to sign Yamamoto. The Mets have to sign Yamamoto. Yeah, the Braves signed 3 players. Yeah, Lane. The Braves are making a lot of additions. They're doing a lot of things, and the Braves have always been an organization that is ahead of the game. They're ahead of the game. They just made a big trade for Kalenic, Jared Kalenic, former Met, former Seattle Mariner as well. But you know, I mean, the Braves have made a lot of moves, but they didn't win a World Series last year. They lost. So baseball's hard. At the end of the day, baseball's hard. How do you feel about the Giants and the Jets? Oh man, the Jets suck. The Jets suck. The New York Jets suck. I'm sorry, they suck. The Giants, Tommy DeVito has been giving the Giants some type of hope, but they suck as well. The Giants suck as well. The Jets suck. Aaron Rodgers is not going to save the Jets. Not this year. I'll tell you that. It's just not going to happen. I just don't see Cody Bellinger going to the Mets. I don't think that the Mets are interested in Cody Bellinger as you would think. Cody Bellinger had a really good year in 2023, but I don't see the Mets getting Bellinger. Radio silence on Bellinger. You're right about that, Steve. Radio silence on Bellinger. Yeah, nothing has been talked about Bellinger, and I'll tell you this: because of the Soto situation, because of the other free agents. I mean, nothing has been talked about with Jorge Soler either. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of guys that have not been talked about, but I would think that Cody Bellinger, some teams are interested in Cody Bellinger, of course. I mean, he had a really good year for the Chicago Cubs. And if I'm the Chicago Cubs, I would probably try to sign him back. I mean, he had a really good year for the Chicago Cubs. Really good year. Let's see here what he said. Did you like what the Mets did in the 5-rule draft today, bro? What did they do today? What did they do today? Am I missing something? Did they do something today? I mean, did they do something today? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, they acquired a minor league left-handed pitcher and definitely another pitcher as well, Justin Slayton and Ryan Amons. Um, Apparently Justin Slayton is a right. He's a hard throwing right-hander, so that's good. I like that. Uh, but they traded him quickly to the Red Sox. Uh, I mean, this guy's like what? This guy was yeah. Do I like what they did? They got a pitcher from the Rule 5 draft pit, and then they traded him to the Red Sox, and they got someone else in Salmons. A guy with an ERA of 4 point something. I don't know. That's a small move. That's not a big move. I'm not really excited about that move or whatever. No. Who can the Yankees sign? The Yankees are going to make a lot of moves coming up this offseason, man. They're looking like they're going to look. I think the Yankees are going to make a lot of moves, and they're already starting to make moves with the Verdugo trade. They're going to probably get Soto, and they're going to get Trent Grisham in the deal. So that's going to be really good for the Yankees, outfielders wise, because the Yankees really had no outfielders going into 2024. So it looks really good for the Yankees in the outfield situation, and the Mets outfield situation isn't looking so good. We got Brandon Nimmo at center field. Right field, I don't even know who's going to play in right field for the New York Mets. And I don't know who's going to play at left field for the New York Mets either. What I would say is, personally, I will put Ronnie Mauricio at that second base, Brett Beatty at third, Jeff McNeil at right, maybe DJ Stewart at left or something like that, because right now, those are really all the guys that you got on the roster. And the Mets got to make moves, man. They got to make more moves. They got to do something, so yeah, man. I definitely think the Mets got to make some type of moves here. They got to do something. So, we'll see at the end of the day. Yeah, they got some players today in the rule. Yeah, I know. I saw. It's like those are not really big time moves, right now. I mean, but and I hope that they do sign some relievers because they need relievers. The Mets need relievers really, really bad. But yeah, how you guys are feeling about about the Yankees and the Mets so far? How you guys are feeling about the Mets moves so far? Are you guys happy with the Severino move? Are you guys excited about the Severino move? Do you think that he's going to be good? Do you think that the Mets are going to sign Yamamoto? You know, breaking news from the MLB: the Yankees sign Yam. Well, they can't sign. They can't sign Juan Soto. Did they trade for Juan Soto? Is that what you mean? Yeah, the Yankees are. Oh, they traded him. They traded. They got. Is it official? Did they? I'm gonna go to MLB.com right now. Um. Oh, the Juan Soto is being finalized now. Source confirms. Oh shoot. Oh yep. Well, it looks like the Mets are gonna get Soto, man. It looks like the Mets got Soto. Wow, 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 wow. Like I said, I mean, the Yankees are making moves, man. The Yankees are making moves, and they're probably going to give up a lot to get Soto. A 1 year rental. He's a 1 year rental. He's going to be a free agent after the year coming up. So listen, um, I think that if the Mets, obviously there were probably some interest in Soto, but it would have been too much. It would have been way too much to give up for Soto. So I didn't want the Mets, trading for Soto for a 1 year rental. I mean, at first, if it was on the table, I felt like you got to make a move, right? But you're not going to trade Ronnie Mauricio. You're not going to trade Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez. You're not going to trade these guys for Juan Soto. So, but good for the Yankees. I mean, good for the Yankees. Good for the Yankees. I mean, if the Yankees really got Soto, wow. I mean, huge, huge, huge news here. Huge, huge, huge news. I mean, wow. Uh, wow. If the Yankees really got Soto, what the hell, man? It's the Yankees are looking like they're making a lot of moves, man. Yankees are making a lot of moves this offseason, and the Mets, what's going on? I don't know. We're not making moves. We're not doing nothing. We need to do something. Yamamoto has to be signed already. This Yamamoto situation is just bringing everything down. Let's do something. The Mets need to sign some type of guys. They need to make some type of trades. They need to do something. I know. I love what. You know what? I'll tell you this. I like the core that the Mets have. I like Ronnie Mauricio. I like Brett Beatty. I love Francisco Alvarez. I love Ronnie Mauricio. I like Brett Beatty. I like Jeff McNeil. I love Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor. I think that the Mets have a good team. The Mets have a good team. It's not like they don't. I definitely think they have to really figure out that third base situation. But Ronnie Mauricio at third base or second, I definitely think Ronnie Mauricio should be the second baseman for the New York Mets going into 2024. But I don't know what they're going to do about the third base. I think they're going to make it a competition, probably in spring training. But maybe they're going to make it a platoon situation. I don't know what they're going to do with the third base situation. But the Mets, I just want them to sign a guy like Jorge Soler. Because if you do sign a guy like Jorge Soler, you make your team better. And I know, obviously, everybody wants Ohtani. Everybody wants, the big free agent. But if you get a guy like Jorge Soler, and if he could hit you 36 home runs going into 2024, why would you not want this guy? Why? I mean, you gotta want this guy, man. I don't know. Let me see here. Can the Mets get Tyler Glass? No. Correa, JD Martinez, Josh Hader? No. Well, I'll tell you this. Josh Hader, I don't think it's happening. Josh Hader, he denied a qualifying offer. So whoever signs him is going to take a risk with their draft picks, and they're not going to be able to get that first round draft pick that they want. So if they do sign a Josh Hader, they're not going to be able to get that first round draft pick in the first round, which sucks. And JD Martinez definitely, is older, but he had a really good year with the Dodgers, had a pretty good year. I like the year that he had. He hit a home run in the postseason as well. Correa, forget about Correa. Correa is not coming back to the New York Mets ever. He's never going to be a New York Met. But Tyler Glasnow, I think, is intriguing. I mean, I think you should if you could trade for Tyler Glasnow, I would like for the Mets to have some type of guy like Tyler Glasnow. I think he had a really good end of the season. He came back from an injury, and he showed that he's a good pitcher, man. He showed that he's a good pitcher. But yeah, man, guys, how are you guys feeling? If Soto has been traded to the New York Yankees, how do you guys feel about that trade? Because I mean, like the Mets not doing much. Like this is not good for the Mets right now. I don't know. The Mets are not looking good right now. The Mets are not looking good. We're not looking good. When it comes to making additions to the team, changes, doing things to make the team better, you see the Braves doing a lot to make their team better already. So the Yankees doing some stuff to make the Mets. This has been small moves. This is looking like a Milwaukee team right now. This is how the Mets are looking right now. You know what I'm saying? I know that Steve Cohen did meet with Yamamoto, but man, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about the Miami Marlins? The Miami Marlins have a lot of talent. They're doing definitely the Miami Marlins. I definitely think they really lost a good they lost their GM, Kim Jong-un, and she what's her name? Kim something. She was really, really good. Really, really good with the Miami Marlins. They made the playoffs, but nothing came into fruition, but they did. Kim left the Marlins, and now the Marlins is, I think, looking for a new president of baseball operations or something like that. But I don't think that the Marlins are going to win any World Series coming up in like the next 10 years or anything like that. They have a lot of pitching. I'll tell you this. The Miami Marlins have a lot of pitching. So I wish we kept Buck King. Yeah, Buck, had a really good first year with the New York Mets. The second year, this 2023 was horrible for Buck Showalter. I don't know. So I think that the Mets should have kept Buck. I mean, I don't know because I think that the Mets needed some type of change when it comes maybe a younger coach, and I think with Carlos Mendoza, he gives you a young guy. He gives you a guy that has that New York experience. He can connect with the players. I definitely think Carlos Mendoza is going to surprise a lot of people when it comes to being a good coach for the New York Mets. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's going to do a lot of good things for the Mets. And, I think that he's going to be a really, really nice pickup for the New York Mets. Can the Mets sign Eduardo Rodriguez? Eduardo Rodriguez, it seems that the Mets don't have a lot of interest in Eduardo Rodriguez for some reason. I mean, I don't know why. But I don't think that the Mets are going to sign Eduardo Rodriguez. Would you ever think Baez would come back and do better? I'll tell you this. I loved Baez as a New York Met. The last year, that the last couple of months that he had with the New York Mets, he just looked like a refreshed player. He wasn't striking out as much. He was changing his approach. He was happy to play with his boy Francisco Lindor. He brought a lot of energy to the New York Mets. He definitely, I think Javier Baez, he backed in his contract, so he's not going to be a free agent at all. So it's not. So the Mets are not gonna get Baez or anything like that because he opted back into his contract. So now he's gonna be a Detroit Tiger for the coming years. So he could have opted out and he could have tried to get a major league deal, but he had a really bad 2023 year, one of the worst years in his career. So he did not have a good year. Can the Mets? Yeah, we said that. Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't see Javier Baez ever becoming a Met again. The run that he had with the New York Mets, it was nice. It was good. He brought a lot of energy. It was good to see, but it's not happening. He had a really bad year in 2023. Really, really horrible year. One of the most strikeouts in all of MLB. It was not a good year for Javier Baez. Definitely, I think that the lane. I definitely think that the Mets can sign Lee. They could definitely get that outfielder. I definitely think that Jung Hoo Lee has a lot of talent. And I know a lot. There's been some comparisons to Yoshida from Boston. And man, if this guy could be just as good as Yoshida, I would love for him to be on the team. I would love for him to be a New York Met. I think that the Mets are gonna have the next like 2 years or the next coming year, like after the 2024 season, the Mets are going to have a lot of outfielders. Jet Williams is going to be in the outfield. We're going to have Drew Gilbert in the outfield. We're going to have Starling Marte in the outfield. We're going to have Brandon Nimmo still. It's going to be a lot of outfielders that the Mets are going to have in the coming years. But definitely right now, they don't look like they really have any outfielders right now, and that's what sucks. So let's see here. Would you let me see here? Yeah, I really think that Lee would be able to sign. The Mets would be able to sign Lee for sure. I definitely think it could happen. The Mets are very interested in these Japanese players, and as they should be. But definitely, he's 25 years old as well. That Jung Hoo Lee, and he had he was the KBO MVP in 2022. He did end the season with an injury in 2023, ankle surgery, and in July, but he should be ready for spring training if the Mets were to sign him or any major league team. Do the Mets trade McNeil and Beatty? Well, I'll tell you this, man. Jeff McNeil, Brett Beatty. I don't think that they're going to trade Jeff McNeil. I think they value Jeff McNeil a lot. I think that they do value Brett Beatty. He's a young player. He's gonna get better. I definitely think I love Brett Beatty. He just hasn't clicked in the major leagues yet. But I love Brett Beatty. I love what he brings to the table. But defensively at third base, you saw at the end of the year he was playing better third base. But other than that, I think offensively and defensively he has to be better. He has to be better. But would the Mets trade Brett Beatty? I mean, I don't know, but I think that Jeff McNeil is probably the most. I love Jeff McNeil and I love Beatty, but it could happen. The Mets could trade Brett Beatty. It's not like it can't happen, So, but it has to happen for the right thing. So, do you think Juan Soto? Yes. Juan Soto is going to go to free agency after the 2024 season. Whether he's a Yankee or not, that's not going to change, his thoughts on free agency. When you think about free agency for a player, this is the best time for them to make the best amount of money that they could ever make. So Juan Soto, he could have made a lot of money, 400 plus mil with the Washington Nationals, but he didn't take it. So the Padres, I don't see him. That's not an extension that the Soto and the Padres are interested in. Let me see here. Oh, what's this here? Randy, your thoughts on Steve Cohen's daughter engaged to a CAA sports agent? CAA reps Ohtani. I think that's probably coincidence. That's not really. Cohen is gonna do what he wants. He's gonna try to sign everybody he wants. He's gonna try to get the big guys. Ohtani and the Mets, I just don't see happening. I really don't see happening. I think Otani's going to become a Dodger. I really think he's going to become a Dodger, and it's going to be Mookie, Freeman, and Ohtani, and they're going to have one of the best lineups in all of baseball. But if you have Ohtani and you have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, you're not guaranteed to win a World Series. That's what I love about baseball. It's not predictable. That's what I love about baseball. But yeah, King. I don't think Juan Soto is gonna be. He's definitely gonna go into free agency going into 2020 after 2024 season for sure, and he's gonna love it. He's gonna get so many offers. He's one of the best players in all of baseball, and he's young. He's definitely gonna go into free agency. It's not like he's gonna sign an extension with the New York Yankees. That's not happening. But if the Yankees were to try to get an extension with Juan Soto, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think Soto is going to want an extension, just yet. So let's see here. Can the Mets sign Trevor Bauer, Tyler Rogers? Trevor Bauer is not going to the Mets ever. Trevor Bauer would never come to the Mets. So especially the situation with the Mets and the Dodgers situation and what he has done in his career and, his personal, it's just not happening. Tyler Rogers, if you talk about the lefty, they could probably sign like a Tyler Rogers type of reliever for sure. What if we put Ronnie at third, Luis Acuna at second? King, I love it. But Luis Acuna is not ready for the major leagues just yet. He's going to go into AAA next season probably, but he's not going to be ready for the major league season until probably the next year. Maybe he'll get a late time September call up, but I don't see Luis Acuna being, the second baseman of the New York Mets going to 2024. I don't see. Maybe 2025. Now that's a different story, but I say it's not going to happen going into 2024. Luis Acuna Jr., he's just not ready. He didn't have the best stats with the Mets. He did get a little bit better. His speed is game-changing. I love his speed. Game-changing speed Luis Acuna has. Game-changing. Randy, be honest. Have you ever heard of Carlos Mendoza before the Mets hired him? Don't lie. No, I haven't heard of him. I haven't heard of Carlos Mendoza before the Mets hired him. No, you're right. He was a bench coach for the New York Yankees. He's never been a major league manager. Never had the experience of being a major league manager. Aaron Boone did get ejected 20-something games, and Carlos Mendoza was the manager. That's some experience, but that doesn't compare to multiple experiences like Buck Showalter and other guys like Ron Washington, Dusty Baker. None of that compares to that. So, have I ever heard of Carlos Mendoza? No, I haven't. But I definitely think that he can connect with the young players, and he can have a connection. And I like what he said in the press conference. And I know a lot of people, with the press conference, that's just something people say. But I definitely think Carlos Mendoza is going to be a welcome addition to the New York Mets. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I really think he's going to surprise a lot of people. What do the Mets do with Ronnie Mauricio, Mark Vientos going into spring training in 2024? Well, there was a report, I think it was last night or today, that Francisco Lindor was working with Mark Vientos on defense going into 2024 and in the offseason. So, Mark Vientos, Dave Stern sees him as a bat-first guy rather than a defense guy. So I don't think that Dave Stern sees Mark Vientos as a third baseman competition, with Ronnie Mauricio and Brett Baty. So I don't see that happening. I think Ronnie Mauricio definitely, though, he's going to have some competition with Brett Baty defensively for spring training. That they're definitely going to compete for a job to get that third base spot. Because if the Mets don't sign a third base guy, if they don't sign a third baseman, then yeah, it's going to be Ronnie Mauricio and Brett Baty to compete for that spot at third base. Do I like Matt Chapman on the Mets? I think Matt Chapman is a really good defender. I think he's a really good defender. I think he had a pretty okay year with the Toronto Blue Jays. But do I definitely think I would like Matt Chapman, defensively for sure. Offensively, let's look at his ceiling here. Uh, let's see here. Matt Chapman, he had 17 home runs, had a batting average of 240. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I 17 home runs, batting average of 240. He did not have a good year. He did not have a good year. So defensively, I think he would be a welcome addition to the New York Mets. I mean, if you could get him on a short-term deal, then maybe. But I'm not signing Matt Chapman for more than 3 years. No, it's not happening. No. When will Luis Acuna be up for the Mets? Luis Acuna probably won't be up to maybe next year. Honestly speaking, going and I don't mean like next. I mean like next, like after 2024 season, he would be up. Like maybe going into 2025, Luis Acuna would probably be in the mix. It really depends on the type of year that he has with the New York Mets. In the AAA system, it really depends on the type of year he has. It's a there's always a possibility that these guys could make the majors, earlier than possible, because obviously Francisco Alvarez said he was going to be a major league Met in 2023, and guess what? He was a major league Met. So I mean, Jet Williams said he's going to be a major. He wants to be in the majors by 2024. I don't see that happening, but I mean, you never know. You never know. Ohtani, Yamamoto are holding up the hot stove so far. Once one of those dominoes falls, we'll start getting our boys. Don't worry, bro. It's all going to work out. Believe in Steve. I feel you, Steve. I'm going to believe in Steve. You're right. I believe in Steve. I'm going to believe in Steve, and I'm going to believe in Dave Stearns. I was happy when we got Dave Stearns. I was really happy when we got Dave Stearns, excited. I feel like the Mets, we're lacking, the type of baseball experience that Dave Stearns brings. I love Dave Stearns. And, I know that he's only made little moves so far, like the Luis Severino move, the Joey Window move, those type of moves. But, other than that, I really think that Dave Stearns and Steve Cohen, I think that they are going to make. I think you're right about the dominoes falling. And Yamamoto, man, the Mets got to get Yamamoto. We got to get Yamamoto. The Mets need Yamamoto in the rotation going into 2024. The Mets need Yamamoto. Oh my God, Lane, we're a Rich Hill 2-year deal. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that's not happening. Oh, that's never happening. I'm sorry. Rich Hill, he should be retired. I hope. Rich Hill's retired. I really hope he's retired. Let me see here though. Let me see here. Is that Soto deal official? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that Juan Soto deal is official. I'm still seeing. I haven't seen that it's finalized yet or it's official. So I don't know if that's gonna be done. But yeah, no, Steve, you're right. I think that when the dominoes fall, things are gonna happen. Things are definitely gonna happen. So we'll see. But man, how are you guys feeling about I know the offseason so far. I know a lot hasn't happened. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys like. Who would you want in the Mets right now? If you had to make a list of guys that you would want, who would you guys want? So you guys can go one by one and tell me who you guys would want going into 2024. You can make a list. You could say Yamamoto. You could say Cody Bellinger. You could say whatever. Definitely intrigued to see how you guys think, how you guys would, make this list, because I really think that, it's good to see, who you guys would want. So is there any news about what happened to Billy Epler? Billy Epler is not a Mets concern anymore, to be honest. He's done. He's done with the New York Mets, and thank God. Um, but if there's any news, I mean, Billy Epler, yeah, he stepped down. He got into a little controversy, with the MLB, and I don't think that he's really a Mets concern anymore. Yeah, the Mets can definitely sign Yamamoto. The fact that Steve Cohen went personally to Japan to meet with Yamamoto, I mean, that's so big. Nobody has did that. Nobody did that. But man, I mean, when you think of the offseason, a lot hasn't happened so far. I definitely think that some things are going to happen coming up soon. We got Otani's decision is going to be apparently, reportedly, by Sunday. So by Sunday, we should know the Shohei Ohtani decision, which is really, really big. I definitely think the Shohei Ohtani decision is going to, once we learn the decision, once we learn who's going to be signed by or whatever, it's probably going to be the Dodgers. I don't see the Cubs. I don't see the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't see the Braves signing Ohtani. And man, I mean, just imagine if Ohtani was to sign with the Braves. If Ohtani was to sign with the Braves are going to be overpowered at the end of the day. Overpowered. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't think that's going to happen. But I definitely think that the Mets need to do something. But yeah, we gotta wait for these dominoes to fall, guys. We gotta wait for these Yamamoto to fall. We gotta wait for Ohtani to fall. We gotta wait for these dominoes, apparently. And I would love for the Mets to sign Jorge Soler, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen. This is the one guy that I want. This is the one guy that I really, really want, and that is Jorge Soler. I hope that he becomes a Met. Can the Mets sign? I don't know who that is, bro. Who's that? Yos. I don't know who that is. But yeah, man, I mean, going into 2024, the Mets are going to have to make a lot of moves. They're going to have to make their team better for sure. We've only really seen small market moves so far, but I definitely think big market moves are coming for the New York Mets very, very soon. We just got to wait for these guys to fall. That's it. The offseason stinks. I'm happy that Vogelback is gone. Somehow Drew Smith is still around. Oh my God, I was so happy when Daniel Vogelback was non-tender. Oh my goodness, I was so happy. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I'm so happy that we don't got to worry about Daniel Vogelback no more. Daniel Vogelback was a hazard with the New York Mets. I'm so happy. Drew Smith, I think Drew Smith, you still got so many controllable years over Drew Smith. So I get why Drew Smith didn't get non-tendered, so. Rank these pitchers from best to worst. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. From best to worst? I mean, when you look at the year that Luke Casey had, he had a pretty good 2023. I mean, okay. I mean, when you look at the year that Budo had, he had a pretty good 2023 as well. And Tyler McGill, when he came back, he looked strong. But okay, I'll rank it, I guess. I go. I mean, from the first spot, it got to be between Budo and McGill. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Budo. I think Budo really impressed me in 2023. I think he really impressed. His changeup looked really good. And he looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then I'll go McGill and then Lucchesi. I think Lucchesi is not that good, but McGill is not that good either. I mean, I really when McGill first came up, I loved him. I loved when Tyler McGill first came up, man. I was so excited. He was pitching good, and then I don't know, man. Things just changed for McGill. He never was able to be consistent. So, are the Mets trying to get both Yamamoto and Imanaga? Well, reportedly, definitely they're both in on Yamamoto and Imanaga. Imanaga would be a nice addition to the New York Mets as well, but their big focus is on Yamamoto. Their big focus is on definitely a Yamamoto, and the fact that Steve Cohen went to Japan to meet with Yamamoto, and no other freaking owner has done that. It just shows that they're really in on Yamamoto, and the Yankees apparently are in on Yamamoto as well. So it's really going to be a bidding war between the Yankees and the Mets for Yamamoto. And I hope that the Mets get Yamamoto because they got to get Yamamoto. This is their prized possession of the offseason right now. It really is. Do you think that they put David Peterson and Tyler McGill in the Mets bullpen? I think that they tried Tyler McGill in the bullpen. It didn't work out. And I think that they tried David Peterson in the bullpen, and it didn't work out as well. And David Peterson is going to be injured anyways, for like 6 months or something like that. So, he's going to start. He's going to start the season injured. So, I don't see. I don't really see David Peterson. I don't know. With David Peterson, I really don't know. If I'm the Mets, maybe I trade David Peterson at this point. At this point, I think the Mets should trade David Peterson. Are you going to London to see the Mets in June 2024? No, I am not going to London. I'm not going to London in June. But man, good on the Mets. Good on the Mets for going to London. I mean, that would be a nice. That's going to be a nice, beautiful thing to watch. Some baseball in London. That's going to be nice. I like that. But yeah, guys. I mean, I definitely think, guys, that we still don't know what this year is going to be for the New York Mets. Like we don't know what 2024 is going to be yet. How do you feel about the Mets having Jet Williams and Kevin Parada? Oh, well, Kevin Parada has apparently struggled in the Arizona Fall League, but he's a good prospect. I definitely think that the Mets should probably trade Kevin Parada. When it comes to your catcher, you're going to have Francisco Alvarez as your catcher for the next coming years. So I don't think that they need Kevin Parada, but I mean, it depends on how they value Kevin Parada, but I definitely think Jet Williams, they value a lot. Jet Williams made a lot of impressions on a lot of people, a lot of MLB officials. He made a real impression on them. And Jet Williams looks like he's going to be a star for the New York Mets in the season. But I think Kevin Parada and Jet Williams, they're both really good prospects, but I don't know. I love Francisco Alvarez. So do the Mets really need Kevin Parada? I don't. It depends on the year. I think the year that he has going into 2024 is that's a very, very important year for Kevin Parada. Your thoughts on the Mets getting finger blasted with the draft lottery? Will pick 19th overall. That comes with the situation. That comes with the money that Steve Cohen has spent. We get taxed, the luxury tax. It's not like we didn't know it was going to happen. The Mets did try to lose a lot of games, to try to get a pick, but it didn't work out. But at least the Mets still get a first round draft pick. I mean, it would have been nice to get a 6th pick. It would have been nice to get a type of top pick, but at least they still in the first round. It because in 2023 they were not even in the first round. So I definitely think that you know with the lottery, it does it sucks. It definitely sucks that the Mets are not in the top draft. They're it really does suck. And now the Guardians are going to get the first pick. You know, I don't know. I'm not too happy about it, but it is what it is. I'm happy with the Mets prospects that they got so far. Uh, Colin Houck was signed, in 2023. I hope that he becomes a really good, a nice prospect for the Mets as well, just like Jet Williams. But I mean, we'll see. How do you feel about Michael Perez? I don't care about Michael Perez. Michael Perez, the catcher. If you're talking about Michael Perez, the catcher, I mean, he's a backup catcher. He's just for a depth. He's just going to be a backup catcher. At the end of the day, the Mets are going to have Francisco Alvarez, Omar Narvaez going into 2024, and I love it. I love Francisco Alvarez. I love Omar Narvaez. I love the arm that Omar Narvaez has and the defense that he plays. Francisco Alvarez is getting better as catcher. I saw a workout video that he was working out in the offseason, and he's getting better, man. He's trying his best. He's really Francisco Alvarez. I think that he's going to be a star for the New York Mets going into 2024. I really think that he's going to get better. Let me see your thoughts on Steve Cohen unveils the $8 million proposal to build. Oh yeah, no, man. I think it's good. It's good for that, good for Queens. I definitely think it's good for Queens because, in that spot by Citi Field, there's really nothing. There's nothing there. So why not put a casino around there? Yes, tickets are probably going to be more expensive in that situation, but I definitely think that with the casino situation, Steve Cohen is smart, man. He's going to make a lot of money. A lot of money. Oh, Cleveland has no shot to sign Ohtani, bro. No shot. No shot. But let me see here. I'm still looking. I'm still trying to see if this Soto deal is done. I don't know. Not seeing it. Yeah, listen. I definitely think that Steve Cohen with the casino. That's a good move for Steve Cohen, and that's a good move. That's a nice, beautiful thing for Queens to have that type of casino in Queens. That is nice. That's great, bro. 8 billion casino. God. Nah, Lane. The Mets are not signing Chisholm. Chisholm. I don't think Chisholm has a lot of controversy around him. I don't know. I don't. If I'm the Mets, I wouldn't want Jazz Chisholm. I don't see Jazz Chisholm coming to the Mets. They got enough shortstops already. I know he played a couple. He played in the outfield as well. It's not happening though. It's not happening. But yeah, man. Going into 2024. The Mets are going to have a lot of prospects, man. Jet Williams is a very exciting prospect. He ended the season in Double-A. He was killing it in Double-A, killing it. I loved what he brought to the table. Luis Angel Acuna, definitely this guy, Acuna's brother, man, he's going to be a stud as well. I definitely love his potential as well. He hasn't shown plus power yet, but I definitely think that he can get some type of power for sure in the coming years. I definitely think he has that in him. But man, I think the Mets have a lot of prospects, some exciting prospects, But man, I'm so excited to see Ronnie Mauricio play in 2024. That's probably the most excited I am because I love Ronnie Mauricio. And he's playing in the Winter League right now. But man, let me see what you said here. Do the Mets trade Trevor Gott? Trevor Gott, Trevor Gott wasn't he got non-tendered, so he's not gonna be a Met. Let's see here. Your thoughts on Steve Cohen flew to Japan privately to meet with the free agent Yamamoto? I definitely think this was a smart move by Cohen. No other agent, no other owner has done that. No other owner has met with Yamamoto and went personally to Japan. So I feel like that was a very smart thing for Cohen to do. You know, they ate at a restaurant, you know, in Japan, and I think that's a good thing. I really think that's a good call for the you know, the New York Mets and Cohen to have a meeting like that with a Yamamoto, and he showed that he's really interested in the player. And Cohen, you know, is a guy that can, you know, wine and dine. You know, I mean, he got Max Scherzer to come to the New York Mets. He got Verlander to come to the New York Mets. I definitely think he can get Yamamoto to come to the Mets. I would love for Yamamoto to become a Met. And, you know, I definitely think when he does become a Met, he's going to boister that rotation and make it better. And we're going to have probably Yamamoto, Senga, and Quintana. And maybe they do sign a guy like Jordan Montgomery. I don't know. But I definitely think that a rotation with Yamamoto and Senga and Quintana, I really do like. Your thoughts on Mets plan B scenario if they miss out on Yamamoto, Blake Snell? Well, apparently their plan B is Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery. And I think they're more highly going to try to sign Jordan Montgomery if Yamamoto doesn't work out. And if we saw the situation with Steven Matz when he turned down the Mets and how Steve Cohen, he got mad and he goes crazy, man. If he doesn't get his guy, if Steve Cohen doesn't get his guy, he goes on a rampage and tries to sign a lot of people. And I definitely think Steve Cohen is going to get a guy like Yamamoto. He is going to sign Yamamoto. The Mets are going to sign Yamamoto. And if they do miss out on Yamamoto and he goes to the Yankees, I definitely think you're going to get a guy like Jordan Montgomery on the team or Blake Snell or, you know, Eduardo Rodriguez or something like that. But I think Eduardo Rodriguez I think he's going to make his decision in like 2 days around there. So I don't think the Mets are interested in Eduardo Rodriguez, which I don't see why they wouldn't be interested in him. I mean, he pitched good. He had a 3.30, you know, ERA, 13-9, you know, win-loss record. I think he had a good year in 2023. No, Lane. Justin Verlander is under contract to the Astros, so he's not going to become a Philly. But yeah, man, I think that the Mets, you know, they got to get Yamamoto. The Mets got to get Yamamoto. This has to happen. The Mets have to get Yamamoto. They got to get Yamamoto. This is the guy that they want. This is the guy they need. They got to get this guy. They got to get this guy. Because if you don't get this guy, man, this is going to really look. Imagine if the Yankees were to get him and they're going to get Soto and they got Verdugo. And this is not, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want the Yankees, you know, and, you know, the bidding war to go to the Yankees. Come on, man. I know that Yamamoto likes the pinstripes, but, you know, I definitely think Yamamoto, Cohen talks, he wines and dines. He went to Japan to try to talk to this guy. He's interested. He's going to wine and dine. He's going to try to get him. Hot take, baby. Not sold on Alvarez yet. Okay. You are not sold on Francisco Alvarez. Well, man, you got to look at it this way. I know you probably are not sold on Alvarez, but he was only 21. He was only 21. 21 years old in 2023. Going into 2024, he's going to be 2022. I mean, he's going to be 22, and he's going to be probably better. He hit 25 home runs. He played in 123 games. He didn't even play in a full season. He didn't play in a full season. So imagine the type of season that Francisco Alvarez can have when he plays a full season with the New York Mets. He could be a guy to hit you like 30-something home runs, 30-something home runs over. When you think of a catcher like Francisco Alvarez, that type of power, no other team has that type of power. Really, when you think about the Mets situation, they haven't had a catcher like that in some time. So I know you probably aren't sold on Alvarez, but I'll tell you this, man. Alvarez is going to be a Met for a long time. He is going to be a star. I think he's going to be a superstar. But I really think that he has to learn, how to cut down on the strikeouts, how to not chase the ball, how to hit the ball straight away and stay with that approach. Because if he does, then he can be a 270 hitter, 280 hitter, maybe 300. I definitely see a lot of talent in Francisco Alvarez, and he's only 22. Can the Giants sign Jeff Brigham? The Giants could definitely sign Jeff Brigham. The Giants are going to try to sign Ohtani. Giants are going to try to sign a lot of people. Giants are going to try to make a lot of moves. A lot of moves. But yeah, man, I say, so far this offseason, a lot hasn't happened. But I think that the Mets have shown that they have a lot of interest in a lot of people, and they're going to make some type of moves. They're going to try to do some things for sure. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what the Mets, keep, what they got their eye on. But I definitely think, I'm just going to get some water, guys. Just take a little intermission here. All right. Stay with me. So yeah, guys. Sorry, I had to get some water. Definitely, talking a lot, makes you want some water, makes you thirsty. But I definitely think the Mets, they got a lot of moves in store. They're gonna try to make a lot of moves. But no big move hasn't happened just yet because of these dominoes of the Ohtani, of the Yamamoto. A lot of situations, they got these dominoes really have to fall for the Mets to do something. And this has really slowed the offseason down, really slowing it down. But man, I'd say I love Alvarez. And I think Alvarez, Mauricio, I think they're going to be superstars for this team in 2024. I think they're really going to have really good years in 2024. I can't wait to see Mauricio play for a full season. I can't wait to see what he does. No, Lane, the Mets can't sign Mike Trout. He's not gonna go. Mike Trout is apparently the Angels are not even interested in trading for Mike Trout. Interested in trading Mike Trout at all. There was a report that maybe they could, but it's not happening. And when you have a guy like Mike Trout, obviously you wouldn't want to trade him. You're already gonna lose Ohtani, so why would you trade Mike Trout? So that's not happening. But I definitely think that, this offseason, those dominoes really have to fall, like a Soto, like an Ohtani, like a Yamamoto. These deals have to happen. They got to happen. They got to happen. They got to happen. And I hope that they do. I really hope that the Mets do sign a Yamamoto. Because, man, this guy is 25 years old, has a plus fastball, has a nasty curveball, has a really good splitter. This guy, if you thought Senga was good, wait till you see Yamamoto. If you thought Senga was good, man, wait till you see Yoshinobu Yamamoto, because he is going to be a star for whatever team he pitches for, man. And I really think If it's the Mets, I mean, man, good on the Mets for getting a guy like Yamamoto. So yeah, man, I think that, Steve Cohen making that commitment to Yamamoto and going across seas and going to Japan, it just shows that we have an owner who cares. The Mets have an owner who cares. And he wants to win a World Series, of course. And obviously he put a lot of timeline. He put the 5-year timeline, and a lot of people took it to heart. Who who wouldn't want to win a World Series when they get a new team? Like, come on. Who wouldn't? But I definitely think that, Steve Cohen, he wants to, he got his guy. He got Steve Kern. He got Dave Stearns. So, now some pressure is off, when it comes to the baseball experience, because you have a guy like Dave Stearns being the head of baseball operations, that he can make moves. He can make those big time moves. And, there wouldn't be a question about it. So Dave Stearns, I love what Dave Stearns, is going to do. I hope that he gets a guy like Yamamoto. I hope that he does sign some bullpen arms. I hope that, the Mets need to do a lot of things, but definitely I think a DH bat would be a perfect sign for the Mets. And I think that they should sign Jorge Soler. I think Jorge Soler is the perfect sign for the New York Mets for the DH spot going into 2024. Perfect sign for the New York Mets. A guy that's 31 years old. A guy that can hit you 36 home runs. I mean, if you're the Mets, of course you would want that. A guy that can protect Alonso. He can protect Alonso. When have the Mets have a guy that could protect Alonso? It wasn't Daniel Vogelback. It wasn't. Yeah, Lane, for sure the Yankees can get Yamamoto. It's possible the Yankees could definitely get Yamamoto, but the Mets are definitely very high on Yamamoto. How do you feel about the Blue Jays? I feel like the Blue Jays are good, but they're about to lose a lot of free agents. They're about to lose Matt Chapman. They're about to lose a lot of free agents here. They still got Bo Bichette. They still got Vladdy, Brandon Belt. But when it comes to free agents, they got George Springer as well, Kevin Kilmar. But I think the Blue Jays are very talented, but they just haven't, been successful. They haven't been successful. And I don't know. Are they going to trade a guy? Apparently not. They don't want to trade Vladdy Guerrero Jr. But I definitely think that you know, they should maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to do to save the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, they just have not been good. They just haven't been good. Name one Mets prospect to keep an eye on in 2024. I am tracking Jeremy Rodriguez. We got him for Tommy Pham. For 2024, keep an eye on Mike Vassell. Keep an eye on Mike Vassell going into 2024. Keep an eye on Mike Vassell. I think he's going to be a really good addition to the New York Mets rotation. I think he could possibly make the rotation, which, I would love to see Mike Vassell make the rotation. I think that he had a okay AAA, end of the season, but maybe he's going to start the season in the AAA. But I definitely think that Mike Vassell has a chance to make the rotation in 2024 for sure. Whether it is an opening day or in the middle of the season or something like that, I definitely think Mike Vassell is going to be, for sure. I definitely think that he's going to be a good prospect for the New York Mets. And the Mets need pitching. The Mets need pitching. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying about Jeremy Rodriguez. Yeah, we did get him for Tommy Pham. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, be patient, my little brother. Yeah, I'm trying to be patient. I'm really trying to be patient. With this offseason, not a lot has happened, but I'm trying. I'm trying to be patient. I'm really trying to be patient. But when I'm looking at all these Yankee moves right now, I'm not happy. I'm not a happy camper right now. Because if the Yankees are about to get Soto and they got Verdugo and they're interested in Yamamoto, I mean, this does not look good for the Mets. Imagine if the Mets don't get Yamamoto. Like, this is not good. This is not good. So I trust Steve Cohen. I trust Dave Stearns, and I think that they are going to make a big move. I think that they are going to make some big time moves. I hope that they do get Yamamoto. Yamamoto is a guy they need. When you think of a rotation arm that they need him. They need him for sure. But yeah, man, I definitely think keeping an eye on prospects, keep an eye on Jet Williams because Jet Williams is going to be a star for the New York Mets when he becomes a Met. Keep an eye on Gilbert going into AAA next season. Keep an eye on Acuna, Luis Angel Acuna. Keep an eye on Ryan Clifford as well. I think Ryan Clifford is going to be a nice prospect as well. He has a lot of power. But I love Drew Gilbert, and I can't wait till he becomes a Met. I wish that, I really wish that somehow like we could fast forward to like when Gilbert and Jet Williams like become major league Mets because I love Gilbert and I love what he brings to the table. And just imagine an outfield with Drew Gilbert, Brandon Nimmo, and Jet Williams. I mean, I love it. I love it. But the Mets have a lot of prospects, but I definitely think this offseason, 2024, something has to happen, right? Something has to happen. Like, if the Mets were to get a Yamamoto, we would have the next pitcher for like 5+ years. He's only 25 years old. I mean, that is amazing because Senga's 30. Senga is 30. Senga's 30. So Yamamoto is 25, so he's younger. And imagine if he's better than Senga. Imagine if they're both really, really good at going into 2024. I definitely think that the Mets have a lot of things to be excited about, for sure. Yeah, they got a lot of things to be excited about, but I want some type of move and I'm trying to stay patient, but I don't know. Apparently, there's 7 teams emerging as top suitors for Yamamoto. So 7 teams. 7 teams are going after Yamamoto, and they're top suitors for Yamamoto. Yeah, Lane, how do you feel about Ryan Clifford? I definitely think that Ryan Clifford is a star. I think not a star. I think he's going to be a good prospect for the Mets. It depends how his future, but I definitely think he's a big guy. He could hit a lot of home runs. He's going to be a power guy. I like Ryan Clifford, but it's too early for him to be honest. He ended the season with the Cyclones. He's going to have a couple of years. He's going to have a couple of years to get to the major leagues. So yeah. So not just yet, he's going to make the major leagues. But I like him. I definitely like Ryan Clifford. Man, but 7 teams are apparently top suitors for Yamamoto. So the Mets, it's not like the Mets don't have competition, man. The Mets got competition with 6 other teams. Yes, the Mets do have the richest owner in all of baseball as Steve Cohen, but man, I mean, this is crazy, man. Like, this is crazy. 7 teams going after Yamamoto and they're top suitors? My goodness, man. Like, this is really high competition for Yamamoto, man. I mean, I really hope that the Mets do get Yamamoto because, man, 7 teams going after this one guy. Like, wow. 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 Can the Mets get Brandon Woodruff? Definitely they could. They could get him. Yeah, I think he was non-tendered as well. He was non-tendered. It's possible. Yeah, the Mets could get him. Yeah, but man, I think that the Mets, you know, the rotation needs help. Relievers, the Mets need relievers so bad. And they did sign a reliever, Michael Tomlin, yesterday. And he looks to be okay. He last pitched with the Braves. Had a pretty okay 2023. So the Mets are making some small moves to sign relievers, but they haven't signed a big reliever just yet. I think that the Mets should be interested in Jordan Hicks. I think Jordan Hicks should be some type of interest with the New York Mets. And a guy that can throw you 103 miles per hour, 102 miles per hour, why would you not be interested in Jordan Hicks? I wouldn't sign Yamamoto. He is short, unproven in the MLB. Fastball max out at 96 miles per hour. Um, that's your opinion, man. I think that Yamamoto is going to be a star with the in the MLB. I think he's going to be a star. And yeah, he's short. And he is unproven in the MLB, but who wasn't unproven? Senga was unproven in the MLB, and look at the year that he had. So I definitely love Yamamoto's breaking stuff. He has really plus breaking stuff. His curveball is disgusting. His splitter is really, really good. And his fastball can max out at 98, 99. It can max out. But, I like it. I like him for sure. I definitely think, you know, he's pitching a lot of games. He's been successful in the KBL league. So I definitely think that he can be a star in the MLB. But I mean, I see why you would say that he's unproven in the MLB and that he's short. He is short. It's not like he's tall. You're right about that. Yeah, the Mets can sign Jordan Hicks. I think the Mets should sign Jordan Hicks. Why not get a guy like him? A guy that can throw you 102 miles per hour, 103 miles per hour. Why not? You saw him destroy the Mets when he faced the Mets. He destroyed the Mets. This guy has really good stuff, and I like Jordan Hicks. I really do. Senga only got 75 mil. Yamamoto's getting 300 mil. No, you're right about that. Yeah, no. But the thing is, yeah, the reason why Senga only got 75 mil is because of the age. Yamamoto is 25 years old. You're going to have a guy like him that's young for so many years. He's going to get a lot of money. And he's got a lot of teams interested in him. A lot of teams are interested in him. Apparently 7 top suitors for him. So when it comes to the Mets, if they don't sign Yamamoto, who would you want? Who would you want? Would you want a guy like Montgomery, Blake Snell? Would you want these guys? Would you take those guys over Yamamoto right now? Maybe you would. I definitely think that, Yamamoto, he is going to be a star. I really think he's going to be a star. What will the Mets do with DJ Stewart? The Mets are gonna, have him as in the probably as a bench bat or in the outfield. Probably what you saw at the end of the season. DJ Stewart played very well at the end of the season, but is that gonna hold up for a full season? I don't know about that, but I definitely think DJ Stewart. I'm happy that he came back to the Mets. I think that he played the outfield pretty well. And he showed a lot of athleticism in the outfield. He really did look pretty good in the outfield. But if the Mets only have DJ Stewart, Brandon Nimmo in the outfield and started Marte going to 2024, I'm not liking that outfield. I'm sorry. I'm not liking it. Not liking it. Yeah, I'm not liking it. But yeah, guys, I think that this offseason, once Ohtani gets signed, I think that definitely is going to ramp up the process of the free agency, and we're going to see a lot of moves happening. Once Ohtani gets signed, man, I think Yamamoto is going to get signed. Oh my goodness. Yamamoto, you predict Yamamoto is going to get 12 years for 360 mil? Holy crap. 12 years? No, 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 no. He's not going to sign for 12 years. He is not signing for 12 years. Well, I hope that the Mets don't sign him for 12 years. I hope that the Mets don't. I hope the Mets give him a 7-year plus deal. Maybe 7-year, six. I would like a 6-year deal with Yamamoto. A 6-year deal. But a 12-year deal? That is insane. He's 25 years old. And he's going to be 37 by the end of his contract. I don't know about that. But you could be right. You could be right. The way contracts are nowadays, they don't really care about age. They just really go. We saw. We've seen a lot of players sign big contracts, and then they end up getting traded or something at the end of their contract. So it's not like it can't happen. It's not like it. But 12 years, 360 million. That's a lot of That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, man. A lot of money. Can the Mets sign Will Smith? I think that the Mets, let me see, is Will Smith under contract? Is Will Smith under contract? Let me see. Will Smith. No, he's what teams? Oh, no. Oh yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah. They could sign Will Smith. Definitely. 6 years for 300 mil is 50 mil AV. Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But man, Yamamoto is gonna make a lot of money, man. When it comes to, my goodness, he's gonna make a lot of money. My goodness, 300 mil plus deal, man. But you're right. I think he's gonna get that type of deal. I think he's gonna get a 300 mil plus deal. He's gonna want a lot of money, man. He's gonna get a lot of money, man. Wow. I mean, yeah. I shoot. The Mets can't sign Corbin Burns, and I don't think Corbin Burns can be traded for, but I don't think that the Mets are going to trade for Corbin Burns. He would be a welcome addition to the rotation for sure. Corbin Burns is a Cy Young winner, had a really good 2023. He's been really good with the Milwaukee Brewers. Definitely one of the top pitchers in all of baseball. I love Corbin Burns, but I don't think it's happening. I don't think he's going to sign with the New York Mets. I don't think he's going to be traded to the New York Mets at all. But there could be some instance that the Milwaukee Brewers do make a trade like that. But I don't know if the Milwaukee Brewers are going to trade Corbin Burns. But yeah, man, I definitely think they got to make some type of move, man. The Mets got to make some type of move. And if they don't get Yamamoto, then you got to go for Montgomery. And you got to go for a guy like maybe Blake Snell or somebody like that. I mean, or maybe you make a trade for Tyler Glasnow. Maybe you make a big trade for Tyler Glasnow. I think Tyler Glasnow showed that he's back. He's a good pitcher, and he was healthy in 2023 to finish the season. I like what I saw from Tyler Glasnow. Do you see Hoykes? I don't know who that is. Sorry. I don't know who that is, buddy. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Who's that? You talking about Reese Hoskins? Maybe you talking about Reese Hoskins. I mean, Reese Hoskins could possibly sign with the New York Mets. Like it could be a scenario where he does sign with the New York Mets. I think he could be a DH bat for the Mets as well. But I really like when you think of a DH bat, I love Jorge Soler. I think Jorge Soler is the perfect bat at DH. Perfect. Let me see here, but man, yeah, it looks like the Soto deal is they're looking at medical records now, but man, the Yankees are gonna get Soto. The Yankees got Verdugo. Mets ain't doing nothing right now. This is not looking good. It's not looking good. And I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be patient, but man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Mets right now. We're going 2 hours on the stream, guys. We're going to be ending the stream in 14 minutes. So just letting you guys know, definitely streaming again tomorrow. Same time tomorrow, 5 o'clock, same time tomorrow. So definitely going to keep you guys on the latest of what's going on. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Yeah, for sure, man. Happy holidays. Happy holidays for sure. Let's just hope that is a great holiday for the New York Mets. Let's just hope that we, at this point, by Christmas, I hope we have Yamamoto. At this point, or we have some type of guy, somebody else to, we at this point by Christmas, I hope we have some pitching. I hope we have some relievers. I hope we have somebody. Yes, Lane. Can we get David Robertson back already? I love David Robertson. I love what he brought to the table in 2023. Man, he looked like a really good addition to the Mets. Yes, he didn't do good with the Miami Marlins because they didn't use him the right way, because they used him way too much and they relied on him way too much. But if you get a guy like David Robertson, you bolstered that bullpen. Imagine if we do get a bullpen with David Robertson and Edwin Diaz, man. I like it. I definitely think that the Mets got to make more moves with the bullpen, but I like it. I love David Robertson. Love what he brought to the table. Love it. Yes, he's older, but you saw that he can still pitch in the major leagues, and you saw that he's successful. So, I definitely think that the Mets, I just hope that they do some type of move, man. Like, come on. Let's do something here, man. But going into 2024, I think that there's a lot to be excited for when it comes to the Mets. When it comes to third base, they got to figure out that situation with third base. Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty. Ronnie Mauricio is probably going to be, I would like Ronnie Mauricio as second base other than third base. And maybe you put Jeff McNeil at third. I don't know. Why not try Jeff McNeil at third? Maybe he'll show you difference. Maybe he'll be good at third base. But Brett Beatty, I like Brett Beatty still. I'm not going to give up on Brett Beatty just yet. This season is going to be the season where I end up deciding on Brett Beatty, because this season, if Brett Beatty is not good, we could trade him. If Brett Beatty does not have a good 2023, we could definitely, 2024, we could trade him. We could trade him because we've given him what? This last year was his first full year in the MLB. But going to 2024, that's going to be almost 2 years. So definitely Brett Beatty, he needs to, pick it up, man. I don't know. He needs to do something offensively and defensively. He has to pick it up. He has to. I definitely think that Francisco Alvarez is the catcher for 2024. He is going to be the catcher. I love him as the offensive catcher for sure. Pete Alonso, we got one more year with Pete Alonso. Listen, if they don't re-sign him, then there's going to be a mistake on the Mets part. It's going to be a mistake because you need Pete Alonso on the Mets. I don't care what anybody says. Pete Alonso's a guy that can hit you 45 plus home runs, a guy that can hit you 115 RBIs plus. This guy is one of the best hitters in all of baseball when it comes to power. So why would you not want Pete Alonso signed to the New York Mets? It doesn't make sense. Yes, the multi-year deal, he probably wants a 10-year deal, something like that. Is he going to get it though? Is he going to get a 10-year deal? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. Would I give Pete Alonso a 10-year plus deal? I don't know. I really don't know. But man, you guys have any more questions? Any more concerns so far? I definitely think that the Mets, some excitement going into 2024, but we haven't had that big move, that big market move. We just haven't had it yet, but it's coming. I definitely think it's coming. And I just hope that the Mets do get Yamamoto. And then they get Soler. And then they get David Robertson in the bullpen. And maybe you get more people in the bullpen as well. And maybe you get a Montgomery. Like, you got to have guys like this. The Mets, if they want to be successful going to 2024, you got to get guys. You got to. When you look at the Braves are making their team already better, man. Like, the Yankees are making their team better. The Mets got to make their team better. The Mets have to make their team better. And this lackluster approach to not making the team better. I want the Mets to make their team better at the end of the day. Whatever they do to make the team better, I will love. Whether that is to trade a Mark Vientos, whether that is to trade a Brett Beatty, whatever it is, if the Mets get better, you got to make the move. You got to make the move. And if you do trade for a Tyler Glasnow, I definitely think that the Mets will get better in the rotation. So there's some moves to be made. It's not like there isn't, but it's just the Mets haven't made those big moves just yet. And we're still waiting on this Ohtani. Apparently, Ohtani's decision is by Sunday. So, I mean, we'll finally figure out the Ohtani situation. But, man, the Mets got to do something, man. This patient approach, man, I'm not feeling it. And I think if the Mets were to get a guy like Yamamoto, it would take the pressure off the Mets going into the offseason a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moves to be made. We'll see what the Mets do. But, man, who would you guys want on the Mets, like right now? If you could have, anybody under contract right now that's able to be under contract, who do you guys want? Would you want a Cody Bellinger? Would you want would you want a Cody Bellinger in the outfield? I mean, Cody Bellinger had a good year. He had a really good year with the Chicago Cubs. Really good year with the Chicago Cubs. I mean, if I'm the Mets, I'm interested in Cody Bellinger. I think there should be some type of interest in Cody Bellinger. But, these guys, this free agency has been slow so far, but I just hope it picks up. I hope it picks up. I really hope it picks up. I just hope it picks up. And with that big payout to Soto, the Yankees won't be as aggressive with Yamamoto. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the Yankees are not going to be aggressive with Yamamoto. I think that the Yankees, they're gonna be aggressive. I don't know. I see the Yankees trying to get Yamamoto. I think they're serious about Yamamoto, even though they probably are going to get Soto. They're going to try to get Yamamoto as well. It's going to be a bidding war. It's not going to be easy for the Mets to get Yamamoto. It's really not. But this is the big free agent right now. Yamamoto and Ohtani. Those are the big free agents. I mean, and Cody Bellinger's radio silence, like you guys said, radio silence on Cody Bellinger. Nobody has said anything about Cody Bellinger, and nobody has said anything about Jorge Soler. Nobody has said anything about So, but I think that the Mets, yeah, Michael A. Taylor could sign with the New York Mets, but should they sign the Mets? I mean, should they sign him? He had 21 home runs. He had 220 batting average. I'm not really that high on Michael A. Taylor, to be honest with you. I don't think Michael A. Taylor would be like a groundbreaking audition to the Mets or something like that. Yes, they need outfielders. Yes, they're gonna need outfielders as well. But I mean, I'm not giving Michael A. Taylor a multi-year deal. I don't think that Michael A. Taylor, you know, I don't know, man. I don't think that he's a star, I don't think he's a star. I really don't. But yeah, man. I mean, if the Yankees are out on Yamamoto, then good for the Mets. Good for the Mets because, but I don't see that happening. Apparently, the Mets haven't had much interest in Eduardo Rodriguez lane, so I don't see that happening. So yeah, Eduardo Rodriguez to the Mets, not likely, not likely. So yeah, that's not happening so far. But I mean, I hope something happens. I hope something happens. But yeah, man. If I'm not around when Yamamoto signs, and I can't go live or anything like that, definitely I'm probably working or something like that because I work for SNY. I work for the Mets TV station where you see the pre games and all that for the Mets. That's where I work. So yeah. So if I'm not around for the Yamamoto big signing, then that's you'll probably know that I'm busy working or something. But I will be making a video about Yamamoto signing and what I think he will bring to the table. And definitely, I'm gonna be making a lot more videos soon, staying consistent with the channel. I'm hoping you guys are liking what's going on with the channel, and I appreciate watching the content. Appreciate you coming to the stream. Appreciate you watching the stream. I appreciate everybody that interacts with me. And yeah, man, you guys are awesome. You guys are really, really awesome. You guys are I love talking Mets baseball, and you guys are the best talking Mets baseball with. So yeah, man. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. I will be doing a giveaway. 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. We are definitely on the goal to 800 subscribers. Coming up soon as well. So definitely 1K subscribers. I am doing the giveaway and it's going to be probably a big baseball jersey. And yeah, that's what it's going to be. But definitely stay with, yeah, definitely. I can't wait to do that giveaway for you guys. And I can't wait to be at 1,000 subscribers. But definitely, man, I think that the Mets, I've always been a Met fan my whole life. And, uh, you know, these last years with the change of managers and change of, GMs, I just hope that Dave Stearns and Steve Cohen they become a consistent part of the Mets. I don't want Dave Stearns, leaving the team in a year or anything like that. I want Dave Stearns to stay with the New York Mets, stay with the job, and I hope that the Mets trust this guy. The Mets got to trust this guy because Steve Cohen has been waiting 3 years to get this guy. So I hope that Dave Stearns, makes some moves and he becomes a plus player, and make some moves like a big market team. The Mets need a guy to make the moves like a big market team. But I definitely think, man, we the Mets got to do something. The Mets got to do something coming up soon. Something has to happen. Something. We need something to happen. Yeah, so Yeah, I mean, we need something to happen. Nothing hasn't happened just yet, guys. But man, the Mets, man, I definitely think once they get Yamamoto, get a guy like Jorge Soler on your team, and then get a guy like David Robertson. And then that's how I would do it. I would get Yamamoto. I would get Jorge Soler as the DH. I would get David Robertson in the bullpen. And I would definitely, probably sign a guy like a Jordan Montgomery, like probably try to get him, I mean, but Yamamoto's gonna cost a lot of money. He's gonna cost a lot of money, man. He's 25 years old. He's gonna get that 300 plus year contract. He's gonna, goodness sakes, man. He's gonna get a big contract. He's gonna get a big contract, man. Can the Mets sign who? Jonathan? I don't know who you're saying. Jonathan Anide? I don't know who that is. Who that is. But yeah, guys, the stream will be ending in 10 minutes. So yeah, man, you guys have any more questions, any more things you guys want to talk about, any more topics you guys want to bring up, we could definitely talk about that. But yeah, man, I love this stream so far. I appreciate you guys being with me through this stream from the Reds. From the Reds, Jonathan. Who's Jonathan? Who is Jonathan from the Reds? Yeah, I know it from the Reds. Jonathan. I don't know a Jonathan from the Reds. The second baseman. You're talking about you're talking about the I know you're talking about. Let me see. Oh, Jonathan India. Jonathan India. Jonathan India, no. Jonathan India is I don't see him leaving the Reds. No. I don't think that the Mets need infielders. More infielders that they have enough infielders. So I don't think Jonathan India is going to come to the Mets. But no, I don't see that happening. The Mets are going to have they're going to have a logjam of infielders, man. Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty, Jeff McNeil, Mark Vientos, what's it called? Joey Wendell now. I like the Joey Wendell sign. I think Joey Wendell is going to be a nice addition to the New York Mets. I think he's going to be a nice utility man for the Mets. So, yeah, I like him. Yeah, no, Lane, the Mets can't sign Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom is on the contract, and the Mets wouldn't want Jacob deGrom anyways. But yeah, I definitely feel that the Mets have to make more moves, to make a statement in the offseason because, Yamamoto just got to sign with the Mets. Like, that's the domino that has to fall. It has to fall. We need that domino to fall for things to happen. We need it to happen. And, but yeah, man, I'm going live 5 o'clock tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. 5 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going live. And yeah, man, I mean, I feel like so far, with the New York Mets moves, there have been small moves. Luis Severino was a small move. Joey Wendell was a small move. We haven't had any big time moves just yet. But I hope that Dave Stearns has something working, man. I hope that Dave Stearns some type of deal working, man, because I mean, they need to do something. They need to do something, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some type of move the Mets need. Nah, the Mets can't get Nick Castellanos. They would have to trade for Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos had a really good year with the Phillies, man. Really good year. Really good year. Did not have the best, what's it called, postseason in those last few games, but he had a really good year. He had a good postseason, but he got a little cold in the postseason as well. But postseason is hard. Baseball's hard, man. Baseball's hard. Baseball's hard. But I definitely feel, guys, I definitely feel that the Mets have some type of big move coming. Whether that is a Yamamoto, whether that is Jordan Montgomery, whether I think they got something in store, a big move. So what we hope that they do, I mean, we hope at this point, right? We hope. You know, all these Yankee moves, man, about to get Soto. I mean, I hope that the Mets get something. I hope that the Mets do something, man. The Mets got to do something soon. But I'm staying patient. I'm staying patient. Hopefully, you guys are staying patient as well. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah. At this point, I think that the Mets should be interested in Tyler Glasnow. They should be interested in Corbin Burns, and they should be interested in Dylan Cease. Those are the three top pitchers that they could possibly trade for. Those are three pitchers that would definitely change your team for sure. Like Tyler Glasnow would be a welcome addition to the Mets. Dylan Cease is a really good pitcher. So I definitely think there's some interest. It's not like there isn't. So yeah, I mean the Mets can trade for Dylan Cease, but it's gonna cost a lot. It's gonna cost a lot. You're probably gonna have to give up a lot of prospects for Dylan Cease because that's gonna be a big time deal. Because Dylan Cease is a good pitcher. He's a really good pitcher. Really good pitcher, Dylan Cease. Really good. But I definitely think that, when it comes to the offseason, the Mets got to make some type of move, and they got to do this soon, man. They gotta put it into high gear already, man. Put it into high gear because I'm tired of this nonchalantness, man. This is not good. This is not good. So go get Yamamoto. Get Yamamoto signed already. I'm tired of this waiting for Yamamoto. And go get Jorge Soler, please. Please go get Jorge Soler. Oh man, just imagine a lineup with Jorge Soler in the Mets lineup. Just imagine a lineup with him. Oh man, I can't. I would love for Jorge Soler to be a Met. I'm really high on Jorge Soler. Really high on him. I think he's gonna be a really great addition to the Mets if he becomes a Met, man. Woo! Wait till you see what he does, man. Wait till you see what he does. A guy that can hit you 36 home runs. 36 home runs? Come on. Of course the Mets would take that. The Mets had no power from the DH in that last in 2023. So I definitely think the Mets have something in store. I hope that they're looking at DH. They can't go with Mark Vientos as the DH. They can't. Mark Vientos can't be your DH. He can't be your DH. Going into 2024, he can't be your DH. DJ Stewart, I would prefer a guy like Jorge Soler. Prefer a guy like Jorge Soler, please. Please sign Jorge Soler for the DH spot, please. 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 Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Nah, but at the end of the day, the Mets got to make moves. We know that the Mets got to make moves. And Ohtani, the decision is coming by Sunday. Definitely, we'll see what happens with that. But, the Yamamoto situation, maybe he'll sign by next week. Maybe he'll sign. Apparently, he's going to meet with teams in the U.S. next week. So maybe he'll sign with a team next week. But definitely he has a 45-day window to get signed. And he has a lot of suitors. 7 top suitors in the MLB right now are for Yamamoto. So 7 teams are going after Yamamoto right now. That is insane. Insane. Imagine the type of deals and calls that he's getting right now. Like, he's getting so many calls, so many type of, attraction. My goodness, man. My goodness, man. But I definitely think that they got to make some type of moves. The Mets got to make a move. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed the stream, definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for new. And yeah, this is All Things Mets. This is where you get your latest Mets media. Everything you know about the Mets on this channel. Definitely do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and comment. And I always interact. I always enjoy interacting with you guys for sure. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming out to this stream. I appreciate you. I will go live tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock p.m. Pull up to the stream with me. We will be doing the stream. We'll be talking the latest in the MLB, what's going on with the winter meetings, what's going on with the Mets, any interest, any signings. We will be going up over all of that. I love you guys. And I'm out of here.